The world we inhabit is filled with unexpected phenomena that seemingly materialize out of thin air, capturing the collective imagination of millions before anyone truly understands how or why they took root. From the crowded streets of metropolitan capitals to the quietest corners of suburban households, certain trends possess an almost inexplicable power to transcend age, culture, and social status, uniting people in a shared, often costly fascination. We often witness how specific cultural waves crest and break, leaving an indelible mark on society, driven by an intangible mix of comfort, nostalgia, and modern digital connectivity. It is a fascinating study in human behavior to observe how a simple object, designed with nothing more than pure whim and playfulness in mind, can evolve into a global symbol of desire, transforming from a modest boutique creation into an international heavyweight that commands premium prices and unwavering loyalty. In an era where digital screens dominate so much of our waking attention, there is a profound, almost primal craving for the tactile, the soft, and the comforting, reminding us that no matter how advanced our technology becomes, the basic human need for tangible joy remains entirely unchanged. This specific phenomenon speaks to a broader cultural shift where the boundaries between childhood innocence and adult luxury have begun to blur in ways that few could have predicted just a decade ago. It raises compelling questions about what we value, why we choose to invest our hard-earned resources into items that offer no practical utility other than emotional resonance, and how these objects manage to weave themselves so deeply into the fabric of daily life across more than 70 countries worldwide. As we begin to peel back the layers of this fascinating modern narrative, we find ourselves examining the mysterious mechanisms of word-of-mouth marketing, the unpredictable nature of viral fame, and the enduring power of a brilliant, simple idea that took nearly a quarter of a century to fully mature into the unstoppable powerhouse it is today. To understand how these modern obsessions take hold, one must look backward at the long and storied history of global collectibles, a landscape littered with forgotten fads that once drove crowds to the brink of frenzy. Decades ago, the world was gripped by different kinds of manufactured scarcity, where small, bean-filled fabric creations were whispered to be the investments of a lifetime, promising to secure financial futures and buy real estate for those clever enough to preserve them in pristine plastic sanctuaries. We remember the intense battles fought in toy aisles, the frantic trading on early internet forums, and the collective delusion that a simple plush figure could hold the keys to generational wealth, only for the bubble to burst and leave those heavily invested with little more than nostalgic trinkets. Yet the human desire to collect, to categorize, and to possess something uniquely charming did not vanish with the collapse of those early electronic and fabric empires. Instead, it went underground, waiting for the perfect confluence of technology and design to reinvent itself for a new generation. If you are enjoying this deep dive into the fascinating currents of modern culture and want to stay updated on the extraordinary stories shaping our world today, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and join our growing community of curious minds. The evolution of what we consider a must-have accessory has transitioned from the traditional realm of children's playthings into something far more sophisticated, where high-end fashion enthusiasts proudly display whimsical characters alongside luxury designer handbags. This remarkable fusion of the everyday and the elite highlights a unique moment in contemporary style, where a smiling inanimate object or a plush representation of a common household item can command the same level of social cachet as a rare piece of jewelry or a limited edition sneaker, challenging our conventional definitions of prestige and taste. What makes the current landscape so extraordinary is not merely that a product has found commercial success, but that its influence has managed to seep into the most guarded, traditional, and historic corridors of power and influence on the planet. When we think of ancient institutions, we typically envision rigid protocols, timeless customs, and a deliberate resistance to the fleeting whims of contemporary pop culture, preferring instead to maintain a stoic distance from the ephemera of the marketplace. However, the modern world has a way of breaching even the thickest stone walls, often carried inside by the youngest generations who remain entirely indifferent to historical gravitas, and instead seek out the universal language of comfort and fun. When the highest echelons of society, individuals raised amidst unimaginable tradition and ceremony, begin to adopt the vocabulary and preferences of a modern internet trend, it signals a fascinating bridge between two entirely different worlds. It reveals a humanizing glimpse into a lifestyle that is otherwise entirely inaccessible to the public, showing that regardless of titles, grand estates, or historical responsibilities, the fundamental dynamics of family life, parental indulgence, and grandchild worship remain identical to those found in any ordinary home. The subtle nod of approval from a reigning monarch toward a contemporary phenomenon represents a powerful validation of a brand's cultural penetration, proving that when an idea is powerful enough, it can travel from a modest workshop all the way to the gilded rooms of a palace, altering the very nature of what is deemed worthy of official royal curation and space. As we stand on the threshold of uncovering the specific story behind this remarkable cross-generational phenomenon, we are left to marvel at the sheer scale of its reach. An empire built silently over 27 years of patient growth before exploding into the global consciousness in the mid-2020s. It is a testament to the fact that true cultural legacy cannot be forced overnight through massive marketing budgets or synthetic hype, but must instead be allowed to grow naturally through word of mouth passed from parent to parent and child to child until it becomes an inescapable reality. The journey from a humorous, offhand comment made by a child in the late 20th century to a multi-million-dollar global empire that inspires kings and defines the accessory choices of the wealthy is a narrative that challenges everything we think we know about modern commerce. In the next chapter of this unfolding story, we will dive deep into the specific origin of this British phenomenon, exploring the exact moment a light-hearted family joke transformed into a premium brand, and how a simple, ultra-soft creation managed to capture the hearts of royal children, ultimately inspiring an unprecedented modernization of a historic institution's official collection. The journey of this extraordinary British phenomenon began back in 1999 within the creative heart of London, where two visionary brothers decided to establish a premium plush toy company that would completely redefine how the world views stuffed animals. At a time when the marketplace was dominated by mass-produced plastic toys and highly commercialized action figures, these founders recognized a profound gap in the market for something inherently tactile, safe, and beautifully designed. They set out with a simple yet incredibly ambitious goal to create the softest, most luxurious plush companions ever felt, using advanced fabrics and innovative manufacturing techniques that were completely ahead of their time. The name of this enterprise, which has now become a household word across 70 nations, had a wonderfully spontaneous and light-hearted origin that perfectly mirrors the whimsical spirit of the brand itself. It is said that the young son of one of the founders combined the word jelly and the word cat simply because the absurd image of a feline made entirely out of gelatin made him laugh out loud. Recognizing the pure, unfiltered joy inherent in that childlike imagination, the brothers adopted the quirky moniker, laying the foundation for a brand that would quietly build its reputation for excellence over the course of nearly a quarter of a century. For the first 2 decades of its existence, the business operated as a successful but relatively low-profile premium brand, relying almost entirely on word-of-mouth recommendations among discerning parents, specialized boutique toy shops, and high-end department stores that valued artisanal quality over mass-market volume. The true turning point that transformed this respected British business into an absolute global juggernaut occurred in the mid-2020s. A period marked by an unprecedented digital explosion fueled by social media collectors and viral lifestyle trends. Suddenly, the brand was no longer just a well-kept secret among affluent parents. It became a massive internet sensation, captivating a highly enthusiastic demographic of teenagers and adults who found solace and joy in collecting these characters. What set the company apart and ignited this modern gold rush was the brilliant introduction of an incredibly whimsical and avant-garde line featuring smiling foods, vibrant plants, and everyday household objects brought to life with tiny embroidered faces. From perfectly plush avocados and smiling croissants to adorable coffee cups, happy little succulents, and cheerful sports equipment, these unconventional designs struck a profound chord with a generation seeking light-hearted comfort in an increasingly complex world. Collectors began sharing their acquisitions across global video platforms, creating elaborate displays, reviewing new releases like high-fashion items, and taking their plush companions on real-world adventures, which generated billions of views and transformed ordinary shopping trips into highly competitive treasure hunts. This massive surge in digital popularity caused demand to skyrocket to unprecedented heights, leading to widespread stock shortages, massive lines outside retail locations, and a thriving secondary resale market where rare characters began fetching staggering sums as the craze swept through major metropolitan areas around the world. It was only a matter of time before this definitive cultural trend found its way into the lives of the most famous and photographed children on Earth. Within the private residences of the British royal family, far removed from the constant scrutiny of public appearances and official duties, the younger generation was experiencing the exact same childhood joys and fascinations as millions of other children. Princess Charlotte, known for her vibrant personality and emerging status as a subtle trendsetter, developed a deep and enduring love for these ultra-soft plush creations, finding comfort in their quirky designs and unparalleled softness. This childhood passion was so pronounced that it quickly became a central feature of daily life within the household of the Prince and Princess of Wales, establishing these premium stuffed animals as an essential fixture of their family dynamic. The depth of this fascination was vividly illustrated during a private encounter, when Prince William was officially presented with a selection of these coveted plush toys by an organization aware of their immense popularity. Upon receiving the gift, the heir to the throne smiled warmly and offered a rare, remarkably candid glimpse into his family life, stating enthusiastically that his children would absolutely love them because, in their household, these specific plush toys were effectively considered their currency. This charming revelation highlighted just how deeply the viral trend had penetrated the royal household, demonstrating that the appeal of a genuinely delightful and comforting object transcends all barriers of social class, tradition, and royal protocol. Observing this intense adoration among his grandchildren, King Charles took a profound interest in the phenomenon, recognizing a unique and powerful opportunity to modernize the way the monarchy connects with contemporary culture. Known for his keen appreciation of British craftsmanship, design excellence, and entrepreneurial success, the monarch was inspired by how a simple, well-crafted homegrown product could bring such immense joy to children and adults alike across the world. This royal observation led directly to an unprecedented creative collaboration with the Royal Collection Trust, the official department responsible for managing the public gift shops at historic palaces like Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle. Inspired directly by the grandchildren's love for the whimsical plush trend, the Trust set out to design and produce an exclusive high-end line of custom plushies that would bring a fresh, modernized energy to traditional royal souvenirs. The resulting collection was beautifully themed around a classic, elegant royal tea party, featuring delightfully plush representations of traditional British delicacies like cucumber sandwiches, delicate teacups, and tiered cake stands, all adorned with the signature cheerful faces that modern collectors adore. This brilliant fusion of historic royal elegance and contemporary viral pop culture was an immediate, resounding success, completely revitalizing the palace gift shops and attracting an entirely new demographic of fashionable shoppers eager to secure these unique royal editions. The impact of this modernization was so profound that fashion-forward individuals and prominent cultural commentators began raiding the Buckingham Palace gift shops to secure these exclusive tea party plushies long before the general public fully grasped their significance. High-profile collectors openly shared their excitement about purchasing these rare palace editions, declaring their immediate intention to clip the whimsical cucumber sandwich and teacup bag charms onto luxury designer handbags, like their personal Chanel collections. This remarkable convergence of high-end luxury fashion, historic royal tradition, and a viral childhood toy trend created a surreal and fascinating cultural moment that perfectly encapsulates the unpredictable nature of modern style. It proved that a product rooted in simple comfort and light-hearted humor could successfully elevate itself from a nursery plaything to a highly sought-after, high-fashion accessory prized by elite collectors. The incredible phenomenon of adults willingly spending significant sums on plush keychains to adorn multi-thousand-dollar luxury bags illustrates a profound shift in consumer psychology, where emotional resonance, whimsical design, and cultural relevance hold far greater value than traditional notions of formality. As the exclusive royal plush collection continues to fly off the shelves at Buckingham Palace, the story stands as a brilliant testament to the enduring power of creative innovation, showing how a slow-burning family business can ultimately capture the imagination of a monarch, redefine contemporary retail, and unite global generations in a shared appreciation for the simple joy of a smiling plush character. The phenomenal success of the Royal Tea Party plush collection at the Buckingham Palace gift shop represents far more than a temporary triumph in retail merchandising. It marks a profound moment of cultural synchronization between an ancient institution and the rapidly evolving forces of modern society. To fully comprehend why this matters on a grander scale, one must look at the brilliant minds who set this entire narrative in motion nearly 3 decades ago, long before viral algorithms and social media dictated global shopping habits. The story of the two brothers who founded this iconic British brand in London back in 1999 is a masterclass in patient entrepreneurship, dedication to quality, and the willingness to let a brand grow organically through genuine human connection rather than manufactured corporate hype. Coming from a background that deeply valued traditional British design and manufacturing integrity, they built their business on the foundational belief that childhood toys should be crafted with the absolute highest standards of safety, aesthetic appeal, and emotional resonance. By remaining independent and completely focused on their unique creative vision for 27 years, they managed to survive the volatile ups and downs of the global toy industry, gradually expanding their reach into 70 countries through steady word-of-mouth recommendations among families who trusted their incredible craftsmanship. Their ability to innovate while preserving the core whimsy of that original family joke about a cat made of jelly has allowed them to achieve a rare level of cultural longevity that very few modern lifestyle brands can ever hope to replicate. This enduring dedication to creative excellence and authentic design is precisely what resonated so deeply with the current generation of the royal family, particularly through the eyes of its youngest members who are growing up in an increasingly digital and fast-paced world. Princess Charlotte, born into a life of immense historical significance and public responsibility, represents the future face of a modern monarchy that must find delicate ways to remain relatable and connected to the everyday experiences of ordinary citizens. Her genuine, unscripted adoration for these ultra-soft plush companions highlights a beautifully universal aspect of childhood that transcends palace walls, showing that despite her unique status, her daily joys, comfort systems, and playful world are entirely aligned with those of millions of children across the globe. When Prince William shared that these specific stuffed animals served as the definitive currency in their household, he offered the public a rare and deeply humanizing window into their family dynamics, portraying a home filled with the same light-hearted trends, parental negotiations, and sibling interactions found in any suburban living room. This authentic connection to a contemporary cultural phenomenon is exactly what inspired King Charles to look at the traditional palace gift shops through an entirely fresh, modernized lens, recognizing that official merchandise could reflect the vibrant, playful spirit of the current era rather than just relying on historic crests, traditional porcelain, and formal commemorative books. By authorizing the Royal Collection Trust to develop an exclusive line of plush accessories inspired by his grandchildren's favorite brand, the King successfully bridges the gap between traditional British heritage and the modern consumer landscape, proving that the monarchy can adapt to contemporary tastes without losing its inherent dignity. The decision to base the collection around the theme of a traditional British royal tea party was a stroke of pure merchandising genius, taking iconic symbols of national identity like cucumber sandwiches, fine china teacups, and tiered cake stands and transforming them into whimsical, smiling plush characters that appeal directly to the sensibilities of the mid-2020s. This strategic move completely redefines the concept of a royal souvenir, elevating it from a standard vacation keepsake into a highly coveted fashion accessory that bridges the worlds of childhood nostalgia and elite high fashion. The sight of sophisticated adult collectors eagerly purchasing these exclusive palace creations to clip onto multi-thousand-dollar luxury designer handbags demonstrates the immense power of this cultural crossover, creating a fascinating new dialogue about what constitutes prestige, style, and luxury in the modern age. It shows that in our current societal climate, the rigid boundaries between high art, formal tradition, and playful pop culture have completely dissolved, replaced by a fluid consumer culture heavily prioritizing emotional comfort, unique storytelling, and a sense of light-hearted fun. Furthermore, this unprecedented collaboration sheds a fascinating light on how modern brands achieve ultimate validation, moving from grassroots viral popularity on social media directly into the most prestigious, historic retail spaces in the world. The journey of these plush creations, from a simple workshop in London to the elegant shelves of the Buckingham Palace gift shop, serves as an inspiring blueprint for contemporary businesses, illustrating that long-term commercial success is built on the slow, careful cultivation of a superior product that people genuinely love to hold and share. It proves that even in an era dominated by fleeting digital trends and short-lived internet fads, there is an enduring, highly profitable marketplace for high-quality, tactile goods that offer a genuine sense of warmth and comfort to people of all ages. as the exclusive royal Tea Party plushies continue to capture the imagination of international tourists and fashion enthusiasts alike, they serve as a joyful reminder that the simplest ideas, born from pure childlike imagination and nurtured through decades of hard work, can ultimately influence monarchs, transform historic institutions, and bring a smiling sense of whimsy to the entire world. This complete and beautiful circle of inspiration, from a child's laughter in 1999 to the playful currency of royal grandchildren, and finally to an official palace collection, demonstrates that true creativity knows bounds and will always find a way to unite us in shared delight.